All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a tool that, let's be honest, you've probably got open on your screen right this very second, Visual Studio Code. It's an absolute beast, a real powerhouse for modern development. But we're about to look at how its greatest strengths can also be its biggest hidden risks. So let's break down why this tool we all love and use every day needs a serious security checkup.
And when I say powerhouse, I am not kidding. Just look at this number. According to the Stack Overflow Developer Survey, more than 70% of professional developers use VS Code as their main editor. It's not just popular, it's the standard. For cloud engineers, for DevOps teams, you name it. It's everywhere, and for some really good reasons.
But that massive popularity brings up a really critical, maybe even uncomfortable question. What if the tool you trust with your source code, your credentials, your keys to production, what if that's also your single biggest security vulnerability?
And that brings us to our first big idea here. We're going to explore how VS Code became this double-edged sword. The very features that make it so powerful and indispensable are the exact same pathways that an attacker can use to get in.
So how did it completely take over the world of development? Well, it's pretty simple, really. It's light, it's fast, it doesn't have all the bloat of a giant old-school IDE. The extension marketplace is just massive. You can customize the heck out of it for any workflow, and its support for tools like Git, Docker, and Kubernetes is absolutely top-notch. It just works everywhere.
And that, right there, is where the risk starts to creep in. Because of all that amazing power and integration, the developer's machine is no longer just a place for writing code. No, it's become a high-privilege gateway. Think of it like a command center with a direct hotline to your most sensitive production environments.
Okay, so let's really dig into what that means. Gateway to the kingdom. What are we actually talking about here? What's really on the line when a developer's editor gets compromised?
Well, in the security world, there's a specific term for this. It's called a privileged endpoint application. Sounds a bit fancy, right? But all it really means is that VS Code isn't just a text editor anymore. It's an application that holds the keys to everything that matters: your code, your cloud accounts, and the very pipelines that build and ship your software.
And when we say keys to the kingdom, we mean the literal keys. We're talking about the complete source code and intellectual property for your entire company. We're talking cloud tokens, API keys, SSH keys, all just sitting there on the machine. And yeah, direct access to your build pipelines and Kubernetes clusters. If just one developer's VS Code is compromised, it can lead to a full-blown company-wide breach. So, the big question is, how do attackers actually get in? You might be thinking of some super sophisticated malware, but honestly, it's often way simpler than that. They just turn the trusted features of VS Code against you. Let's walk through the anatomy of the single most common and, frankly, one of the easiest attacks to pull off. So, check this out. It all starts pretty innocently. An attacker either creates a new, helpful-looking extension, or even worse, they hack a popular one that thousands of developers already trust. An unsuspecting dev installs it, and that's it. The extension gets to work silently, in the background, just grabbing every credential it can find. And from there, the attacker has a free pass to waltz right into your cloud infrastructure and start injecting malicious code into your builds.
And let me be super clear about this. This isn't some theoretical what-if scenario. Security experts will tell you this is a classic, well-known software supply chain attack. It's happening right now out in the wild.
And if you thought malicious extensions were the only problem, well, think again. This is where things get even sneakier. Attackers can hide malicious commands in a project's tasks.json file, which then run automatically. They can hijack the built-in terminal, leak sensitive info through telemetry or cloud sync. They can even use the DevOps tools you trust, like Git or Docker, to move laterally. It's like they found a secret tunnel from a developer's laptop straight into the rest of your infrastructure.
Okay, so that's the threat. It sounds pretty grim, I know. But here's the good news. This is absolutely manageable. Now we get to the solution. We're going to talk about how to harden your defenses using a battle-tested, industry-standard playbook, the CIS Benchmark for Visual Studio Code. And this really shows you the transformation we're talking about. On the left, that's VS Code right out of the box. It's kind of the Wild West. Any extension can be installed, data might be leaking out through telemetry, code can just run automatically. But on the right, that's the hardened state.
That's a locked-down secure workstation where only approved tools run. Data leaks are plugged, and key security features are turned on and enforced. So how do we get from the Wild West on the left to the fortress on the right? It's not magic. It's a checklist. Let's open up the security playbook and look at the specific, critical controls that you and your organization need to put in place, like right now.
All right, this right here is the core of the playbook. First up, and this is the big one, configuring an allow list for your extensions. Remember that malicious extension attack we just talked about? This one control basically shuts that whole attack down, cold. Next, turning telemetry off. Simple, but it stops potential data leaks. Making sure updates are automatic ensures you get security patches the moment they're out. And finally, enforcing workspace trust. This is your safety switch. It stops any code from just running automatically until you explicitly say, yep, I trust this. It's a huge defense against malicious code repos.
Let's just double-click on that extension piece, because it is so important. The goal here isn't to ban all extensions. Not at all. It's about being smart. It means you need an internal list of tools that you've actually vetted. Before you approve one, you've got to ask some questions. Is the publisher legit? What permissions is it asking for? Is it even being maintained anymore? What's the community saying? This process is absolutely essential.
So when you put all of this together, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Hardening Visual Studio Code isn't just some small IT task you can put on a backlog. It is a non-negotiable, absolutely critical part of securing your entire software supply chain. Period.
And so I'll leave you with this one question to take back with you, maybe to ask your team tomorrow. After everything we've seen, take a really hard look at your environment and ask, is our code editor a secure, hardened workstation, or is it just an open door? The answer and what you do about it is now in your hands.